Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jermaine Payne, and today I'm going to be sharing with you what I consider to be the 5 most important levels when you're advertising on Facebook. The truth is, each one of these 5 levels can be learned on a specialist level with the complexity of each one. So the more that you know about each one, the better you can improve your results when advertising on Facebook. Alright, so let's jump into it. So to me, the most important thing is messaging, because in order to advertise, you have to intimately know your customers. To get a right message, you have to understand the challenges that they're having, and you have to understand the solutions that they're looking for in the market. So for me, what I do is I use websites and it depends on the brand, because all brands, you won't be able to find references or information about the brand from the sources that I use. So let's say it was a hair care brand, right? What I would do is I would go on sites like Amazon, look up similar products, go through the reviews and see what customers are saying about the reviews. I look at the positive reviews, I look at the negative reviews. I'd use maybe forums like Reddit, join Facebook groups, and just sift through the comments, the questions, because there's a lot of invaluable advice that you can get from using these forums, right? Another thing that you want to do is ask the owner. How can I forget that? That's actually the first thing you should do. You should ask the owner. Ask the owner, what are the challenges within the market, and how are they going to solve these challenges with their product? So that's really the first place. That's really the first place that you should start, by asking the owner what challenges that he or she sees in the market, and how their product solves that problem. And then from there, you can go on to using the references that I mentioned, like Amazon, Reddit forums, Facebook, anything that is going to give you opinions, right? Because basically what you're going to do is re-engineer it. You're going to see what they're asking, what questions they're asking, and then you're going to create your messaging around answering that problem, showing the customer or the prospect that you understand their challenges, and then crafting the solution. This is how our product will solve your problem. Alright, so the next thing, creatives. So when it comes to creatives are super important on Facebook. They're super important on any platform, really, because what the creatives are gonna do is grab the attention of the prospect, right? And by this time, this day and age, on Facebook, there's so much advertisers, there's so much content, and it's how do you get seen? How do your ads stand out amongst all the different competitors and all the content that's on the platform? So there's 2 types of creatives. You have video creatives and you have static creatives, right? Me personally, I like to use video creatives, top of the funnel. When I say top of the funnel, that's the awareness stage, so they're not super familiar, but as you carry them through the journey, I transition from videos. I still use a little bit of videos, but then I move more into static, which is just images, because I find with images you can move a lot faster. So with the images on the back side, so middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, you use the images, and with the images you could push different copy angles, the headlines, reviews, and all this stuff. I may be getting ahead of myself by talking about that stuff, but yeah, so that's what we do with the creatives. And with the creatives, right, so let's say a video creative, variations are super important, because you're not you can have a video created, right, but there's no guarantee that the way that video was constructed is the way people are going to resonate with it. One thing that I like to tell my designers is let's try to put the problem or the solution up front, so we ensure that the customer either understands the challenge up front within the first 3 to 5 seconds, they understand the challenge up front, or they understand the solution up front within those first 3 to 5 seconds. That's super important to ensure that in this short space of time, they basically got an overview of what this product can do for them. You can also use, like I say, you can use static images. Static images, I would say, like if you're unable to use videos, you can use the static images just so that you can start the process faster. But to me, it's a bit more challenging because when you're using video creatives as well, you're able to re-engage prospects that watch certain times within the video, which helps in your retargeting campaign. So there's a lot more value in using videos versus static creatives. But you can definitely use static creatives too. And if you use static creatives, you want to look at like the overlays and the headlines and other like little unique pieces that you could use to make the creative stand out, because ultimately that's what you want to get. You want to make sure that the creative is standing out amongst all the other content that the prospect is going to see on Facebook so that they could click. Now, in terms of determining how good your creative is within your campaign on the back end of Ads Manager, you look for your cost per click, you look for your click-through rate. You want a high click-through rate or you want a low cost per click. The lower the cost per click, that means you're getting more people to go to the website. The more people that go to the website as cheaply as possible, because you definitely want them to go cheap, but you also want them to convert, right? So it's like, let's say you send 100 people to your website and it costs you $1 or £1 to get each person to the website, and you have a conversion rate of 3%. That means you got 3 sales. But with the same ad, if it's gonna cost you $2 or £2 to get the same 100 people to the website, now that's costing you 200 people to get the same 2 or 3 sales. So that's why it's super important for you to ensure that you're getting your cost per click down or you're getting your click-through rate up as high as possible. Like, to give you like a benchmark, you want a click-through rate anywhere between 1% and 2%. That's usually around the average. And it can go higher, but like it's kind of harder to get it to go much higher, but it's very doable. But as a benchmark, you can start right there. All right, so the next thing, offer. So a lot of people think that an offer is a discount, but an offer is not a discount. In my opinion, an offer is future proofing. What is future proofing? So basically, future proofing is you putting the customer, your prospect, into the position that they want to be in. So the outcome. So going back to the hair product, right? And let's say somebody has breakage with their hair and they want to stop the breakage. Your future proofing is basically showing them how your product is gonna stop the breakage, give them that strong, whether it's curly or straight hair that they have, give them the exact outcome that they want. And in order to do that and to support that, within your messaging, you want to use things like your social proof. So you want to talk a bit about how it's helped somebody else. You want to do risk aversion. So risk aversion basically is like adding like some sort of guarantee or something like that that says like, if you don't see any results from using our product, then send it back to us within 30 or 60 days with our money back guarantee. Something as simple as that. So it's like you're basically reducing any barriers for the person to go ahead and make the purchase, because they're like, well, if it doesn't work, I can send it back. A little secret with guarantees is this: people don't actually, well, let me not say people don't. Most people, so let's say you sold 100 products, chances are only maybe 1 or 2 people are gonna actually use the money back guarantee. So there's really nothing for you to lose. It's not like you're gonna sell 100 units. Matter of fact, right, you should be selling a good quality product to begin with. So if you're selling a good quality product, there's not going to be any returns at all. So like that's the first thing. That's like super important. Make sure like when you're in business, you're selling a quality product. While we're talking about offers, I want to just briefly talk about discounts too, because you can also add a discount. Me personally, it wavered for me before, because it's like I thought like discounts. I was for it. Then I was like, discounts is a bad thing. But now I'm back to discounts is a good thing. Because the thing is, like, think about it, right? And I'm only looking at it from an acquisition perspective, right? You're trying to get somebody to, they don't know, you never heard of your brand before, right? This is cold acquisition, and you want to get them in. The easiest way to get them in is to give them a discounted rate, so that it's like they feel as if like they're taking less of a chance with your product. Because let's say the product usually sells for $50 or £50, and they can see that they're gonna actually get it for 35 or 40, for example. So they're saving 10 to $15 a pound, right? That they look at that like, this is worth a try. Like, if anything, at least I didn't pay full price for it. But for me, what I like about offering discounts is because what I know is what I want to do is get as much customers in as fast as possible, so that I can build on the retention and build on the lifetime value of the customer. So I'm not looking for the profit, or when I say I'm not, this is how I speak to my clients and show them like, you're not necessarily looking for the profit on the front end, you're looking for the profit on the back end. The profit is always made on the back end. Like, there's some businesses that have pricing models that's strong enough that you can get profit on the front end, but usually if you're selling a product anywhere between, let's say, $20 to $50, let's say, for example, like, the higher you go and the better your margins are, the better it is for you, obviously. But usually, like, a product between $20 to $50, your profit is going to be on that second, third, or fourth sale, right? And you just need to bear that in mind. And once you bear that in mind, it kind of becomes limitless for you in terms of like how you can go about your acquisition strategy, because then you're not fixated on that first sale. So when I would not recommend discounts is when you have more of a premium type product and brand. If you have more of a premium type product, you want to push on the quality of that product, like the experience, for example. Sometimes it's like how that person is gonna feel using your product, the prestige that comes with that, or the quality of the materials or something like that. Usually, if you're pushing a high quality product, you won't push discounts and sales like that. So that's the time when I would not push on discounts if my client is pushing a premium quality product. All right, so next thing, account setup. So earlier when I was speaking about the TOF, middle of the funnel and the bottom of the funnel, those are basically stages in the customer journey in which you have to ensure your messaging aligns with where that customer is. So that's the top is awareness, middle of the funnel would be engagement, and bottom of the funnel would be conversions, right? The simplest way for me to put that would be the top of the funnel. That's where you want to ensure that your messaging is either showing the customer like what the solution is, the uniqueness about your product, how you identify with their challenge so that you can show them the solution, give them the solution that they want. Once they are more familiar with your product, then they go on to the website. Then that's like them going into the middle of the funnel, right? So the middle of the funnel would be objection handling, right? And it's like they went on, they didn't make the purchase. You might want to show them some reviews or something like that. You might want to show them like a product unboxing so they kind of get an idea of what it looks like. You might want to show them like some other USPs, which are like so USP is unique selling proposition, which means that this is very unique to your product and other products on the market don't have these features. You want to sell on the benefits as well too, so you want to convey on those. And then you have the bottom of the funnel are conversions. Now this is more objection handling as well. Some people, they put the discounts on the back end, so at this stage is when they would introduce discounts. I introduce discounts both places. further up in the funnel, top of the funnel, and the bottom of the funnel. And again, that's because I kind of want to take more of an aggressive approach to acquire new customers and then make the profit on the back end. So at the bottom of the funnel, you can do more social proof. You can push on risk aversion. So again, the guarantee, you want to reinstate that message so that they know that basically they can send the product back if they're not satisfied with it. Again, you can hammer the benefits. If the product was featured on any news publications, you want to add those there as well too. The reviews again. So yeah, just like some social proof and other objection handling questions that could arise, you want to be handling them in those two stages, on middle of the funnel and the bottom of the funnel. All right, so the last thing, conversion rate optimization, CRO. This happens on the website. This has a lot to do with your conversion rate. So your conversion rate is basically how many people visited your website and made a purchase, right? A benchmark for this usually is around anywhere between 2 to 3%. So that's why when I used the example earlier, I said if 100 persons were to go to your website, you'll probably get either 2 or 3 sales from sending 100 people to your website. Now, if it's under that, usually it'll be because of the price. There's a price objection, and they need more convincing. They need more information about the product. But usually, products that stem anywhere between, let's say, $20 to £20, at $20 at £20 to maybe 100, 150, maybe. If it's 100, 150, it'll probably be by 2, maybe a little bit under 2. And if it's anywhere between 20 to 50, it'll be 2% to 3% on the conversion rate. So to me, when it comes to conversion rate optimization, one of the biggest levels that you can push there is your headline. So I tend to use landing pages or sales pages, and that allows me to like do more than what you do on a traditional product description page, which is kind of more standard. But you can do the same thing in both places as well too, but changing the headline. So the headline needs to convey that solution. It needs, again, to be future proofing, which is showing that customer the benefit that they're gonna experience when they go ahead and purchase this product. That needs to be super clear, and you can test it. You can do A/B tests and see version A versus version B. So that's the control, the one you had before, and the variant, right? And you just keep optimizing. If B did better, you use B, and then you can test it again. B turns to A, and you introduce a new variant, and you test that as well too. A next thing that you want to do is look at how they're using the page. So see how far they're coming down in the page. Make sure that they're seeing your offer. If they're not seeing the offer, maybe you want to put buttons in different parts of the page to ensure that they click the button and they see whatever your offer is. What else you want to do? So you want to see also where all they're clicking, because sometimes like people click on things that look clickable, like it might be a picture and the picture isn't actually clickable, but they think that they should be able to click it and it takes them somewhere. So sometimes that's an opportunity for you to make the picture clickable and make it take the customer to the offer, because maybe that's what they're expecting that's going to happen when they click on the picture. So that's something that you can do. All right guys, so that's it. Like that's the 5 levels that I think are super important when you're setting up your Facebook advertising campaigns. And not just Facebook advertising, because like Facebook is just a channel. Like if you're using TikTok, Snapchat, Google, YouTube, like all of it is going to be quite similar. There's definitely going to be some differences going from platform to platform, but in terms of the customer journey, it's usually the same, and the messaging is always going to be super important. Okay, so that's it from me today. I hope that this video brought you guys a lot of value. I think this video was actually a bit of a longer one, so I'm going to try to reduce the length of the videos and see if I can keep them around like the 10 to 13 minute mark instead of having them go this long. But I'm trying to ensure that I give you guys as much value as possible, and I hope that you guys like it, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.